The wind sweeps across the Heartland ranch, carrying whispers of change. The fields that once felt peaceful now hold a quiet tension. A storm is coming not just in the skies, but in the hearts of everyone at Heartland. What happens when loyalty is tested, and love feels like a risk too heavy to bear? This episode might just show that even the strongest hearts can break and heal again. The sun rises slowly over the open fields, painting the sky in soft gold. The horses move quietly in the distance, their breath forming pale mist in the morning air. Everything looks peaceful, almost too peaceful, but beneath that calm surface, something deeper stirs. Amy has been trying to hold everything together, but her eyes tell another story. There's a distance in her heart that no one seems to notice. Not even Jack. The ranch feels different now, like it's waiting for something to happen. The air is heavy with things left unsettled, wounds, hidden fears, and promises that were never meant to be broken. In this moment, Heartland feels like it's on the edge of something big. Every sound, the creak of the barn door, the rustle of the grass, the soft whinny of a horse feels like a warning. The peace is fragile, almost an illusion. And as the day begins, everyone at Heartland is about to face a truth they've been running from. The question isn't whether the storm will come, it's how they'll survive when it does. The sun may shine over Heartland, but not every shadow fades with the morning light. Beneath the wide Alberta sky, the people of Heartland carry stories that never truly and only change shape with time. Amy has been trying to stay strong, guiding horses, teaching others, keeping the ranch alive. But lately, something feels off. Her heart is heavy with memories she doesn't speak of. Every time she rides across the field, she feels the echo of someone she's lost, a voice that used to bring her peace. The horses seem to sense it too, their calm steps slow, their heads turning toward her as if they understand her silence. Jack watches her from a distance, the way he always does when words are too hard to say. He knows that look in her eyes. He's seen it before in others, and he knows pain when he sees it. The old man's hands, weathered by years of work, grip the fence tighter than usual. There's a sadness in him too, one that time hasn't softened. He remembers what it means to love something so deeply it becomes part of who you are, and what it feels like when it slips away. Jack has always been the rock of Heartland, the one who holds everyone together, but even rocks crack when the pressure grows too heavy. Meanwhile, the ranch itself feels alive, almost restless. The wind rattles the windows, the horses pace in their stalls, and the sky holds a strange stillness before the storm. Lou senses it too. She's been juggling her responsibilities, her work, her family, the ranch, and though she hides it well, there's fear in her eyes. She knows that the ranch isn't just land, it's the heart of their family. But hearts can break, and sometimes they do so quietly. A single choice, a moment of hesitation, could change everything. Lou wonders if she's made the right ones. Out by the corral, a new face stirs old emotions. The new horse trainer, someone who came to Heartland looking for a fresh start, seems to carry a past just as complicated as the people who live there. There's tension in the air when he's around, unspoken, but real. He pushes Amy's patience, questions her instincts, and stirs something she doesn't want to admit. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's something deeper. Either way, it's dangerous. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but sometimes healing hurts before it helps. And then there's the letter. A simple envelope, tucked away in a drawer, sealed but never opened. It arrived days ago, addressed to Amy, but she hasn't found the courage to read it. Every time she looks at it, her heart tightens. She knows who it's from. The name alone is enough to bring back a flood of memories, both beautiful and painful. That letter could change everything: how she feels, what she believes, and maybe even what she decides to do next. But for now, it remains hidden, waiting for the right moment, or the right storm. Night falls quietly over the ranch, but peace doesn't come with it. The sky glows faintly purple as the last light fades. Inside the house, the sound of rain begins to whisper against the windows. Amy sits alone at the kitchen table, her hands around a cup of tea gone cold. The walls are filled with photographs, smiles frozen in time, moments that once felt endless. Her eyes linger on one photo in particular. It's a reminder of love, of loss, and of why she can't let go, even when it hurts. Outside, the horses grow restless again, their hooves echoing softly in the night. Lightning flashes in the distance, followed by a long, low rumble of thunder. The storm has arrived. But this time, it's not just a storm in the sky, it's one that will test everything Heartland stands for: family, trust, and the courage to move forward when the past refuses to let go. The morning after the storm feels different. The air is sharp, clean, but heavy with the scent of wet earth. The ranch stands quiet, glistening under the pale light. Every fence post, every blade of grass seems touched by something new, like the world has been washed, but not cleansed. Heartland has seen many storms, but this one left more than puddles behind. It stirred emotions, pulled open wounds, and exposed truths that no one was ready to face. Amy steps outside, her boots sinking slightly into the soft mud. She looks toward the horizon, where clouds still hang low, refusing to leave. There's strength in her stance, but her eyes tell another story, one of confusion, guilt, and quiet determination. She's still thinking about that letter, still hearing the words she hasn't read yet. It's strange how something so small can carry so much weight. She wants to forget it, to bury it under chores and routines. But part of her knows she can't. Heartland has a way of forcing the truth out, no matter how deeply it's hidden. Inside the barn, the tension grows thicker. The new trainer is there, moving with confidence, maybe too much of it. He's working with one of the younger horses, a wild, unbroken one, that mirrors his own restless spirit. Amy watches him for a moment, her heart torn between admiration and irritation. He does things differently, not by the book, not the Heartland way. When their eyes meet, it's not with warmth, but with fire. There's a spark, not of romance yet, but of challenge. He pushes her buttons, questions her choices, and somehow forces her to confront the emotions she's been hiding from. Jack senses it too. He doesn't say much, but he's been around long enough to know that storms don't always come with thunder. Some begin with silence and end with heartbreak. He's seen too many people lose themselves to pride, to pain, to the ghosts of their past. He knows Amy is at a crossroads. Part of him wants to protect her, to tell her to slow down, but he also knows she has to face this on her own. The hardest lessons at Heartland are the ones that can't be taught, only lived. Meanwhile, Lou faces her own battle. The weight of responsibility feels heavier than ever. The ranch, her family, her career, they all demand pieces of her that she no longer has to give. She's trying to be everything to everyone, but even she knows that something's got to break. A phone call from the city brings news that could change everything. An offer that might save Heartland or pull her away from it forever. She looks out the window, the reflection of the ranch in her eyes, and wonders if this is what growing up really means. Learning that love sometimes asks for sacrifice. Back outside, the sky begins to darken again, not with rain this time, but with uncertainty. Amy approaches the corral, her heart racing. The young horse rears, wild and frightened, and for a moment, its chaos hooves, striking, ropes snapping, voices shouting. She rushes in, instincts taking over. It's not just about control, it's about trust. The horse trembles, the new trainer reaches out, and for a heartbeat, everything stands still. Then Amy steps closer, speaking softly, her voice steady. The horse calms. The silence that follows is powerful, not peaceful, but filled with respect. Something changes in that moment between her and the horse. Between her and the trainer. Maybe even within herself. The walls she's built start to crack, letting in both pain and possibility. She realizes that healing doesn't come from forgetting. It comes from facing what hurts. From finding balance between holding on and letting go, as evening falls. The ranch glows with golden light, fragile but beautiful. Jack sits on the porch, a cup of coffee in hand, watching the horizon. Lou stands by the fence, lost in thought, and Amy walks back toward the house, her hand brushing against the letter she finally took from the drawer. The paper feels soft, worn, and real, like something she can no longer avoid. In the background, the wind carries a familiar whisper, one that sounds like home, like memory, like love returning in a different form. The storm may have passed, but its mark remains. Episode 5 isn't just another chapter in their story. It's a reminder that even when everything changes, Heartland endures. Because no matter how strong the storm, family is stronger still. The night returns softer than before. The storm has passed, but its echoes linger like a secret the land doesn't want to forget. The stars peek through the thinning clouds, one by one, faint but steady, like hope rebuilding itself. Heartland sleeps, but not peacefully. Inside each heart that calls this place home, there's a quiet reckoning, the kind that doesn't shout or break things, but settles deep, forcing you to see what's been right in front of you all along. Amy stands alone near the paddock, the moonlight painting her face in silver. In her hands, the letter trembles slightly, as if it too knows the weight it carries. She unfolds it slowly, her eyes tracing the words, her breath uneven. There's no voice to read them aloud, only the wind whispering through the grass. The words are simple, honest, and heavy with love, a goodbye that was never meant to be final. Tears don't fall. They hover in her eyes, unspilled, because sometimes grief isn't about crying. sometimes it's about finally understanding. And in that stillness, she feels something shift, not the pain leaving, but the strength to live with it. Jack watches her from the porch, the old light above him flickering in rhythm with his thoughts. He sees himself in her, young, determined, heartbroken, but never beaten. He knows that the ranch isn't just about horses or land. It's about the people who keep it alive, who mend fences, not just in the fields, but in their souls. He takes a slow sip of his coffee, the warmth grounding him in the present. For a moment, his mind drifts back to Marion, to the love he lost but never really let go. He smiles faintly, the kind of smile that says, "I remember, and that's enough." Lou steps out quietly beside him. No words pass between them. They don't need them. The silence between family often speaks louder than any conversation. She glances toward Amy and then at the horizon, a long stretch of dark land meeting endless sky. Her decision still weighs on her, the city calling one way, Heartland calling the other. She knows she can't have both, but maybe, just maybe, she can find a way to bridge them. Because if this place has taught her anything, it's that home isn't a location. It's a feeling that never truly leaves you in the distance. A soft nicker breaks the quiet. The horses move gently under the starlight, their silhouettes graceful and calm. The ranch feels alive again, breathing slowly, healing in its own way. The fences stand firm, the barns hum with quiet life, and the air carries the scent of rain and hay, a reminder that even after the hardest days, life continues to bloom. The storm washed away more than dirt. It cleared the air between hearts. Amy finally folds the letter and presses it to her chest. There's no dramatic gesture, no music swelling, just a quiet acceptance. She whispers something only the night can hear, then slips the letter into her jacket. She walks toward the barn, each step steady, each breath lighter. The door creaks open, and the warm scent of hay greets her like an embrace. One of the horses lifts its head, eyes soft, as if waiting for her. Amy smiles faintly, and runs her hand down its neck. For the first time in a long while, her heart doesn't ache, it beats. Strong and sure. Morning comes again, bright and forgiving. The ranch shines under the light of a new day. Jack's laughter echoes faintly as he teases Lou about something small, something ordinary. Amy leads a horse through the open gate, the wind catching her hair. The hills stretch far and wide, endless and open, a promise of new beginnings. The pain hasn't vanished, but it's no longer her cage. It's her teacher. It's part of her story. Just like Heartland itself, full of loss, love, and the quiet courage to keep moving forward as the camera of the heart lingers on the ranch. The final images speak without words, the waving grass, the horses running free, the sunlight spilling across the valley. Every moment says the same thing. That family, even when broken, finds a way to heal. That no goodbye lasts forever when love stays behind to guide the way. The title rises softly, glowing like a memory reborn. The dawn that follows feels almost unreal, a gentle kind of beauty that only comes after chaos. The storm has passed, but it left something behind. Clarity. The sky is wide and endless, washed clean by the rain. Every drop that fell seems to have carried away a piece of pain, leaving behind the quiet hum of beginning again. Heartland stands tall in that golden light, as if reborn. The fences shine wet, the horses graze quietly, and the mountains in the distance look closer than they ever have before. There's peace now, not the fragile kind that comes before a storm, but the earned kind that follows one. Amy walks the ranch path slowly, her boots brushing against dew-covered grass. She looks around at everything she's fought for, the land, the animals, the people, and realizes that survival isn't about winning. It's about staying, even when everything in you wants to run. Her heart feels lighter, though the ache hasn't completely left. It never really does. It just learns to live beside love, and that's enough. She knows the letter didn't change her, it reminded her that loss isn't an ending, it's a beginning you don't see coming. The people you've loved never truly leave. They become the reasons you keep going. Jack steps out onto the porch with his hat in hand, looking across the fields that have seen his whole life unfold. There's pride in his eyes, but also gratitude, the kind that only comes from living long enough to understand what truly matters. He thinks of everything this land has taken and everything it has given back. Every scar, every story, every second chance. He smiles faintly, knowing that Heartland will outlive them all, carrying their footprints like a legacy carved into the soil. He doesn't need to say it out loud, Amy already feels it in her bones. This place is more than home. It's the heartbeat that keeps them all connected. Inside the barn, Lou finishes brushing one of the horses, her movements slow and thoughtful. She's made her choice, not between the city and the ranch, but between fear and faith. She realizes that no matter where she goes, she always belongs here. The dust, the laughter, the tears, they're part of her. She doesn't have to stay to love it. She just has to carry it with her. That's the lesson Heartland keeps teaching them all. Love doesn't need fences. It grows wherever you let it. The day moves on quietly. The sound of hooves, the whistle of wind through the grass, the soft rhythm of life returning. It's simple, almost ordinary, and that's what makes it beautiful. Amy saddles up Spartan, the horse that's been with her through every chapter, every heartbreak. As she rides out toward the open field, the sun breaks through completely, flooding everything in light. The camera of the heart follows her. Steady, wordless, honest. There's no dialogue left, because everything that needed to be said has already been felt. She stops near the edge of the ridge. Looking out at the valley below, the wind picks up gently, carrying the scent of pine and earth. For a moment, it feels like the world is still, like time itself is holding its breath. Then she closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and lets it go. The letter, the pain, the fear, all of it. It doesn't vanish. It just becomes part of her story, a softer part, a wiser one. Down below, Lou waves from the porch. Jack lifts his hat. The horses graze calmly, and the sky opens wide above them, endless and kind. The frame lingers on Heartland, glowing, breathing, eternal. And in that silence, a truth unfolds, that no matter how many storms come and go, this land, this family, this love, it endures. The image fades slowly, like a memory closing its eyes. The title rises one last time, calm and strong. Heartland, Season 19, Episode 5, First Look. Then, just as the screen begins to darken, a single line remains quiet, hopeful, and unforgettable. Every ending at Heartland is just another way of saying, the story isn't over yet. The music swells softly, not grand or loud, but with the strength of something real, the sound of home, the rhythm of second chances, the heartbeat of Heartland.